Outlaw Sports is brought to you by Casper Energy Services. Casper Energy Services prides itself on a culture of success.
Welcome to the show, everybody. My favorite punter that should have been a linebacker, Burke Dales, former Stampeder. The CFL in a precarious position right now. There are those who believe the CFL is not going to have a season. Do you believe that? And in your eyes, what's the best scenario?
Right now it's 50-50. I think a lot of the players right now and the coaches, the owners, there's a lot of unknowns, in my opinion. Do I think that they taint the brand, the CFL brand that's been around for decades and decades by going back and doing a 6-game season? No. I think, and for a lot of leagues, I don't think that you taint or negatively affect the brand of the league or the teams. I say you push to next year.
Push it to next year.
Yes, I do.
Even if the government comes in, I don't see it being enough time, enough money. And what about the American players that are coming over? They have to go into quarantine, and boy, oh boy, they've got a deadline coming up, and it's a pretty hard sell right now, isn't it?
Certainly is. And a lot of these guys can't even get over the border right now. Number one. Number two, so the guys that are coming up here, the Americans, a lot of people don't understand this with the CFL. The training camp is often, there's more of a process involved with training camp than there is the regular season. You got to get these guys up. You got to put them, put 3 meals in front of them a day. You got to give them room and board. A lot of people don't understand what goes into training camp. I don't think in my heart of hearts that you have, number one, you don't have the money. Number two, I don't think you have the time or the prowess right now to get this thing done. I would say push it to next year and start fresh next year.
You look at the NHL, you look at the NFL and the NBA, they're all going to have systems in place, but they have the money to do it. The CFL doesn't. They don't have the money to test. They don't have the money for a plan B. These guys do. I'm not saying their season is going to go ahead either, but at least they have more of a fighting chance, bigger bucks.
Yeah, you're spot on, Mike. They don't have the production power right now to get this thing figured out. Again, my whole mindset going into this thing, I've talked to a lot of players, a lot of coaches. There's guys training like madmen right now. Guys are in the best shapes of their lives. The coaches are itching. I talked to a number of coaches around the league as well as players. They're itching to get out on that field and hit somebody. I would love to see nothing more than a violent football game to start off the season. That being said, however, I believe that it's going to negatively affect the brand of the CFL, and I think that it's more proper and probably a little bit better with regards to pushing to the next season.
Tony Washington is in Montreal, a former Stampeder. He said it doesn't make any sense for American guys to quit their job, come up here, risk getting cut, and by the time you put all the money in and transfer it back into the States, he said, I'll be walking home with $9,000. I can't live on that.
That's they're looking at 33% of a regular salary. So what's that worth? You want to take a stab at that? I know a lot of guys that are down there right now that are on the shelf that don't have other work in front of them. They're itching to get back up here and play. However, again, I'm just going to keep going back to push it to next year and start fresh. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it financially, and it's not worth it to affect the brand of the CFL.
Did Randy Ambrosie drop the ball on this?
Without doubt he did.
Yep. Because I'd like to know why they've been waiting so long. They made a presentation to the Canadian government, and then he said, maybe I wasn't a strong enough presentation. I mean, why are you saying that? I mean, to me, the CFL right now lacks marketing and a leader and common sense. And they need all that to go through. But even if they were to get, and I heard they could get $25 million, that's not enough. And it's not enough time. But let's talk about him. What do you do with the leadership role? Is it his fault, or is it the owners that some are strong, some are weak, some are in it for the good of the community, some aren't?
So here's my take on that. Donald Trump, love him or hate him. Should he keep his mouth shut? Yes. What did Donald Trump do right? Well, He was a businessman. When he got in power, he surrounded himself with the right people and made the right actions and economic plays to bring the company up to where they were before. After Obama, in my opinion, dropped the ball. And I don't want to get into politics. But I am anyway, so I'm going to do that anyway. What Ambrosi did not do right was surround himself with the right people. What we need right now at the helm, running the CFL, is a business leader, somebody that's done business before, not an ex-player. And if you haven't done business before, surround yourself with business people that know where to take the league. Marketing right now is the biggest mistake that he's made.
So Burke, we'll talk a little more and have you on throughout the next process. Hopefully we have some kind of football. I mean, God, is it boring life without sports, isn't it?
Don't get me started.
It's boring. So you've got a company, COVID has turned at least a positive for you. You're making shields. Tell us about your company name.
Yeah, so what happened, Mike, was this. I was going stir crazy when this pandemic struck. Everything was shut down. I didn't know really what to do with myself. This opportunity became apparent for me. I was seeing these plexiglass shields being put up and realizing that when you use alcohol to clean plexiglass, it has a violent reaction. So I thought, what other glass could we use that's a little bit more Cadillac-like, less Pinto-like, that we could go in? And so we sat down with a millwright. We've got a really wicked partner that designed all this stuff for us. They fabricated, developed, and manufactured everything in-house. It's Alberta-born, Alberta-made, and they put these things together, and it's been going bonkers right now. Absolute bananas. So it's called Grizzly Shields. It's 6 millimeter tempered glass. It's a Cadillac product. It's real glass, and it keeps employees and patrons safe. So we've been installing that all over Alberta. We've opened up in Ontario. We're doing a lot of golf courses, hotels, hospitals, medical clinics, you name it. Anything with a POS system, just keeping people safe. You know, the whole goal, guys, was to get the economy rolling again. I mean, we've been pretty decimated here in Alberta, economy-wise. And I won't start pointing fingers out east, but that's just the reality of it. So, you know, when the pandemic struck, I thought, you know, I'm not going to go stir crazy. What can I do to help Albertans get back to work, get the economy rolling again, and keep people safe? And this is what we come up with.
How do we get in touch with you?
Just grizzlyshields.com, Burke at grizzlyshields.com. That's what it is. Reach out. If you need a shield, we've got stock panels. We've got 3x3s, 3x4s. We can do inlines. I can run them on different angles. And again, it's something permanent, not temporary, what you're going to get with plexiglass. And plexi, you're just going to keep replacing it because it's got a violent reaction with alcohol and the cleaners you should be using with the virus. So this is a Cadillac product.
Geo's Men's in Calgary, providing Calgarians to look their best.